Welcome to another episode of Why Bother with your host with the least, Nick DeWitt, and today I'm bothering you with a review of the 2007 Kia Picanto. Got to put it in park. There we go. The Kia Picanto buzzes along on a 1.1-litre four-cylinder engine producing 64 brake horsepower and 72 pound-feet of torque. It's not a lot. 0 to 60 in this car takes quite some time, but let me tell you, with Zoe driving it, it ain't slow. In fact, Zoe's the one getting held up on motorway on-ramps by people in much faster cars. So really, in this car, it is all about momentum and planning. If you want to speed up, you got to hold a board meeting at least a good half a minute before you need to be at 100 Ks. Get those votes in, eat those biscuits, serve the coffee, take the minutes, all of that. But once you're there, it's sweet, man. It is sweet. But what the Picanto apparently lacks in high-speed motorway driving, it makes up for in other areas. You see, the Picanto's engine is just the right size for a lot of fun at low speeds. It has just the right amount of power to have fun around town, and you can use all of it. Like, honestly, foot to the floor. And there's a corner. But we don't even have to slow down for the corner. We can just pedal to the metal all the way around. It's so much fun. This car wants to go fast, even if it doesn't actually go fast. You feel like you're going fast. The lack of sound insulation from the engine means that you hear it. You can hear the engine roaring. You can't say that in most modern hatchbacks. There's a slight suggestion of engine noise coming from the rear, but this is just so why bother with the Kia Picanto if you're the kind of person that doesn't enjoy doing skids and stumping your foot to the floor and going round corners at breakneck speed? Well, let me show you. Four doors means there's no problems getting into the back, plenty of leg room and headroom, which is more than you can say for most modern cars. In fact, most modern mid-sized sedans, including my Camry. I can't fit into the back of it. The roofline is just too low. And here's this little car, smaller than anything else on the road, and I can sit in the back of it quite comfortably. Who would have thunk, man? And let me get this straight. I'm 6'3". I'm not a short guy here, and I can fit. Moreover, the windows in the back aren't claustrophobically small like you get on most cars, even most big cars. I can sit in the back and watch the world go by. I don't feel like I'm staring through a mailbox slot. The good packaging continues up here. The steering wheel is blissfully simple, no buttons on it at all. Well, there's one in the middle for the horn, that's kind of handy. I can live with that. But the rest of the car is controlled with about 8 buttons. AC, demist, lights, wipers, indicators. And that's literally it, except for the radio. You might have noticed that it's kind of tacky, to use gentle language. the original Kia radio broke. Well, it started draining the battery every night, so that got pretty old, and I just happened to have this thing lying around, so it is now in the car. It changes color. Isn't that cool? Isn't that a worthwhile feature in a car radio? This gauge cluster is rather nice. It's actually quite sporty looking. There's quite a cool gauge there that tells you how slow you're going. And interestingly, for a small hatchback, there's a rev counter. And a really kind of cool looking rev counter as well. Like, it's not early 2000s spec. Like most cars, you go in a Toyota Yaris of the same age, it's got some weird speedo in the middle of the car somewhere. No rev counter, man. Nothing. The rev counter, I can only assume, isn't put there for any kind of sporty driving, but it's probably just there to tell you that the engine's about to explode as it goes up to 5,000 RPM when you're trying to overtake someone on the motorway. That's the only purpose I can fathom for it. Still, it's nice to have. Makes you feel sporty, even though you push the pedal and this happens. And 50 kilometers an hour. Not miles, kilometers. So, should you bother with the 2007 Kia Picanto? Well, Zoe did. In fact, it's her first car and she's had it for 6 years. We've driven it everywhere. Around town, on the motorway, even on fully laden, 3-hour-long road trips. She even fits 2 kids and their inexplicably large school bags into the back on a regular basis for her job. Even though the Picanto takes a good long while to get up to speed, once it's up there, you're sweet, man. It'll stay there. Don't ask me how I know, but it will also do 80 miles an hour if you ask it to. Just on the down low, on the DL. Anyway, moving on. And obviously interior space isn't an issue. Most people that drive these cars are obviously going to be shorter than I am, and I am perfectly comfortable in it. And it will do all of this while returning a neat 56 miles per gallon. As always, thanks for watching. Tune in again for more platitudinous car reviews from the world's most inexperienced car trier outerer.